Alright, here we are for packet tracer number 5. This is packet tracer activity 5333, and in this one we are going to configure DHCP on a multifunction device. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose our 3 PCs, and we're going to choose a Linksys wireless router. We're going to connect them with some straight through cable. And you'll notice that all of these are connected to the Ethernet ports and not on the internet port for obvious reasons. Give it a minute and it should establish connectivity. So here we will come in and change the name, DHCP enabled router. Go like this. I'm going to come in and look at our IP address. Let's see here, our starting IP address is 192.168.0.100. It's just going to add numbers to the end of that IP address of the router. But we're going to change that. We're going to make this .5. So we'll save our settings here, and now our starting IP address is in this range. From this was a .1, .100. Now we're also going to change this to .25, and we're going to increase the number of users, maximum number of users. So you'll see here our IP address range is .100 to 149. Once we save those settings, it'll change. We're now .25, which is our starting IP address, to .99, which would be our maximum number of users. That's all we do there. We're going to go into PC0. We're going to configure it for DHCP, and look, there we have a starting IP address which matches the starting IP address we configured in the wireless device. Now if we go to PC1 and we actually do an IP config right now, we will see that we don't have an IP address. Everything's all zeroed out. So if we actually come in here and enable DHCP, we will actually get a different IP address automatically from the router, different from PC0's. And we'll do the same thing with number 2 here. And for some reason that I don't quite understand, if I leave PC0 with this IP address, it gets mad. So we'll go back to static and go back to DHCP. And from the book tells us that when we release a DHCP address, it goes back to the pool. It gets used for a different device. But because the routing table of the router hasn't been reset yet, it will assign a different IP address, which is why I went from static to DHCP. Now we should be able to ping some of these others. And here we can ping the router, which is 192.168.5.1. So from PC1 to the router, and now we can also ping. Oh, I guess we should have looked at the IP config of this one real quick. There we have our default gateway, which is actually the address of the router. Here's our address for PC1 and our default gateway, or subnet mask. Now we can ping PC0 to 8, and there we are talking from PC1 to the router to PC0. And we could do it again if we really wanted to with PC2 to 0 or 1 to 2, either way. But for the scope of this activity, we have completed all the tasks, so we'll stop there.